Great Inagua, October 1722.
Gentlemen, how do you find it here?
It will work for us. But our goal must be to scatter our operations. To live and work among the people we protect, just as Altair Ben had once counseled.
Well, until that time, it's yours as you see fit.
Edward, Captain Woods Rogers survived his wounds. He has since returned to England, shamed and in great debt, but no less a threat.
I will finish that job when I return. You have my word. Evening, Anne.
Edward?
I'll be sailing for London in the next few months. I'd be a hopeful man if you were beside me.
England's the wrong way around the globe for an Irish woman.
Will you stay with the assassins?
No, I haven't got that kind of conviction in my heart. You?
In time, aye. When my mind is settled and my blood is cooled.
Sail ho! Coming into the cove!
Wait, are we going? Is Woods Rogers after us now?
You're a good man, Edward. And if you learn to keep settled in one place for more than a week, you'll make a fine father too.
Oh, are they taking us home?
Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I count. So felt the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going, and all the sweets that e'er I've loved, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you
Okay, so I thought I'd let that song play out. I thought that seemed to kind of be very appropriate. I did like the view of kind of everyone of Vane and Rackham and Hornigold and Thatch and Kid
Father,
Mary.
Did you always know how to sail a boat?
The Jackdaw is a ship, Jenny. Not a boat.
But did you always know?
No. No, I learned after leaving Bristol.
After you left Mother?
Well, I didn't leave without saying goodbye, that is. It was an arrangement, you see, between your mother and me.
She said you left her. She said you always talked about sailing a boat and making money in the New World.
I did always want to sail a ship. That's true. But not for a lark. To support us. To take care of her. And you.
Not me. Mother said you didn't know about me. She said you wrote only once a year and that she never knew where to find you.
That's all true, and I'm sorry for that. If I'd known earlier... I don't know. I might have come home. I hope that I would have.
Well, you were busy. That's what I think.
I was, but... that wouldn't have mattered.
I'm not a...
Look at your boats.
Boat? I see no boat here. Do you?
I mean ship, obviously. I don't see the difference anyway.
Ah, it's a very simple one, Jenny. A ship can carry a boat, but a boat cannot carry a ship.
Why then, everything is a ship. Large and small. But for my toy boat, the one I take into the bath with me.
That's a clever way of seeing it.
As I was saying, I'm not a fan of when
hard to
they
talk about
do
that.
this. I just want to talk over the credits. Let's players do this. Why does Ubisoft not know this?
Some years ago. I miss her, but it's all right.
Was she in pain?
I don't know. I don't think so. She was very happy for quite some time. Then, not so happy. I didn't see her much after that. Then, she was gone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
It's all right. You're here now. And we're on an adventure.
Only a little one, I hope. Can't handle too many more surprises.
You think we'll see a whale?
Yes, there's a very good chance.
And what about pirates? Will I see pirates?
No. Not much chance of that, I think.
Oh, that's rather sad. I should have liked to have seen one.
Tell you what, Jenny. As soon as these winds die a little, I'll let you steer the jackdaw. One little trick at the helm before sundown.
Yay!
There's the whale. The credits didn't finish there. Alright. Cutscening, alright. Wait, this is the opera house from the one outside Covent Garden, because it's the one in Assassin's Creed 3.
Miss Jennifer Kenway, may I introduce myself?
Jennifer Scott, if you please.
I'm sorry,
My daughter was raised by her mother, Caroline, until she passed away some years ago. Jenny prefers to use her surname to mine.
Please forgive my ignorance.
I will. She may not.
Father, help me.
This little rascal, however, is a Kenway. What's wrong, Hafen?
I can't see the stage.
Up we go. How's that?
Fine. But won't your arms tire?
Hey, I'm not so old as that. But if they do, then we shall quit this posh gig and go and meet your mother for some chocolate at White's. How's that sound?
Yes, please.
Okay, hush now.
Yeah, so who's Hatham's mum then? Right, okay, now do I get to talk? I think I get to talk. So, I think the best part of this game was probably when it wasn't being Assassin's Creed. It was out sailing. I really liked it in Assassin's Creed 3. Going out and sailing and doing the odd things. And I think it's because so much of 2 was being an assassin, the assassin, and in this, it's kind of, and in 3, they added kind of slightly more interesting non-assassin-y stuff, and like the sailing, there's so much you can do in that. It was brilliant, loved it. So, I think I mentioned it. I quite like that. Basically, Edward isn't really an assassin at all throughout the entire game. He's not really an assassin. Like, there's parts where he kind of works with them, and even at the end, he's not really an assassin per se. But he says he's going to join them. I wonder what that means about Haytham. Would that mean was he in the Assassins and then left? I don't know. So I quite like the character. I think this game is probably my favorite. I think all the characters are so interesting. And so kind of like Woods Rogers is like actually kind of we're on while being on opposite sides, we're also kind of after the same thing, and not like in 3 where Haytham's like, we want peace and safety and such things, and Connor's like, yes, they're great things to want, but he's actually kind of, we both want to stop Roberts from getting the observatory. We're kind of on the same side, and he's like, actually we want the same thing, and he's like, we could have been friends. And it is that kind of, you can see those things, you can see how all the characters would be friends and would work together. But it's I think this is out of the ones I've played so far, I think this one's my favourite. Although there's only one outfit with a hat, so that's quite bad. I think I'm trying to think what else I can say. Is it other than being like, it's really good. It's really good. I'm not sure I saw the point in having the crafting, because you couldn't really do it on a ship. I'm not sure I like the kind of internet stuff that they put in, like I think the White Whale and the Royal Convoy, I think were random things from Uplay that you could then send to your friends and be all connected and woo, and I don't want that. Just like have one that kind of spawns every so often. Maybe it spawns once at a particular point in each sequence, and if you miss it, you miss it. Or you have one that appears at a fixed point every so long of game time. One appears, and if you miss it, you miss it. Kind of like the income from most of the other games. And it just, I think just that kind of randomness, that kind of, oh yes, she's definitely connected to the internet and blah 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 blah. Not so good. Steed was at the table as well. I missed him out. I'm sorry, but Steed wasn't really that didn't really appear that much as a character. He was very much kind of a very minor character. Whereas I think all of the other pirates there, and Jack as well, actually. But he appeared more recently. Just think, like thinking about the characters, I really liked that. Yeah, like even the good guys weren't good guys per se, which I think is kind of a good way of going about it, going to make them complex. Because Edward changed as the game went on, but I'm not entirely sure there's any one moment where you can say, well, what he's just done is wrong, what he's just done is out of character. Unlike Let's Beat the Drum about Assassin's Creed 3. Connor in Assassin's Creed 3. And his principal goal is the protection of his village. He leaves the village to protect it. He trains as an assassin to protect it. He kills... Oh, what's his name? Is it Johnson? Who's trying to make all these kind of deals. I think it's Johnson. And he's trying to kind of make these deals, and they're not working out, so he just goes, okay, we're going to kidnap the elders. And Connor says, okay, I've got to deal with this guy to protect my people. I need to stop some of the worst things that the British are doing, and by killing these Templars, to protect my people and my tribe. And then when it comes that the tribe is being pushed around by the colonialists, and they go, right, we're gonna fight back. We're sick of being pushed around by these colonialists. It's like by these guys. We're gonna fight them, and if that means we've got to work with the British and the loyalists and beat up the colonialists and the revolutionaries, so be it. We're getting... They're attacking us. And so we're going to fight them back. And his response isn't, hang on, no, you're not. That the bigger threat is the English. His response isn't... isn't, actually, no, the English are the bigger threat. We need to stop them. Apparently there's an Evelyn mission. Huh. It's not that. It's, no, I'm going to kill you now because you're my people, and I want to stop other people killing you. Even though the colonialists at this point are a threat to them, I'm not going to fight against the colonialists. I'm going to fight against my own people, which, admittedly, in a weird way, does mean that his people won't be killed by other people because they're already dead. And that's kind of one thing in my head that really jars in his characterization, that it doesn't follow the way he goes. It doesn't build up sensibly and kind of in character. Whereas, pick a spelling of localization. I appreciate the first one, but pick one. Commenting on the credits as they go past. Whereas I don't think... Like, Ezio doesn't really change the way he acts. I mean, in different games, he's slightly different. Like, finally, in Revelations, he's just beaten down. He wants to quit. But he can't. He understands that he can't, so he gets to the end, and it's, I can finally stop. But within the game, within each game for Ezio, there's not a huge amount of growth. Altair grows. He changes. He's very kind of brash, and I'm right, and kind of he stops. And he's dropped down, and he has to build himself back up. He grows. Edward grows. Connor, Ezio... Ezio doesn't really do anything out of character, but his character doesn't really change. But if you look at Edward, and you look at how he acts early on, and if you say of that character... he is going to do all these things he does at the end. No, that's not going to happen. But there isn't really a part in the way his character grows and changes throughout the game that makes you go, hang on, that's not right. He wouldn't do that. Which I think is always a good sign of a well-written character. So I like Edward, I like the sailing. I like the shanties. I like the music in this has been great. I think especially the song attached to the kind of opening, the beginning of the credits was really good, and I kind of, that was part of the reason why I didn't want to talk over it, because I wanted to listen to it because it was good. Sea shanties were good. You have got the kind of standard Assassin's Creed-y music, like the current music, which is just pure background music. But I think that the music where we've had singing has been really good, and really enjoyable. Thumbs up for music. I actually bought the soundtrack with all the shanties on. It's brilliant. I wonder if it's got that song that Anne sang at the end. Ooh. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a look at that. Let's see if it does. Where else are we going? Where else was I going to go? Talk about? I don't know. I'm intrigued about the modern story. So the modern story, the first one was. I'm trying to just work out what the modern story is as a whole. So the first Assassin's Creed, Desmond's kidnapped, doesn't know what's going on, confused. Finds out at the end something that 16 wants him to know about something. I can't remember what. Gets to Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2, it's they're trying to escape. They're in Italy. They're trying to find out. Oh, they're trying. No, 2 is they're trying to train Ezio to fight. Brotherhood. Are they still trying to train him? I can't remember. I know what Revelations is because after stabbing Lucy in Brotherhood, they just dump him into the Animus because he's struggling. Because that's to try and stabilize him, try and keep him alive. Can't remember what the plot of Brotherhood is. That might be more training. No, they've gone back. They've gone back to Villa Auditore, I think in Brotherhood, haven't they? Yes, because they've had to leave their kind of place, and they're looking for something in Villa Auditore, or I think they're trying to find like a vault of power or something. Then they get there, they find the object, and Desmond's essentially possessed. Stabs Lucy, goes into a kind of comatose state. They dump him in the Animus. They put him in the Animus to try and stabilize him. 3, they're looking for the key to the vault. So at the end of Revelations, he finds out about a vault, and so they have to go to the vault, don't they? Is that the end of Revelations, or is that the end of Brotherhood, where they found out about the? It might have been. I think it was Revelations. I don't know. But at some point in one of those 2 games, they find out that there's a vault in New York. New York State, I think it is. Not the city. I don't think. Fairly sure. So they have to go... So they then put him in the Animus and follow Haytham and Connor to try and find the key. Because the key is the thing that Haytham grabs at first from the first person he kills in the game. And that's the key, and they've got to try and find the key, so that's all the way through Assassin's Creed 3. They get in... Desmond there finds out that then has a choice to either leave Juno imprisoned or to I think it's leave her imprisoned, but the disaster, the 2012 Mayan calendar disaster happens, kills loads of people. Desmond stops it, sacrificing his life, and Juno is freed. Right, that's where we're up to now. So Desmond dies. He's found by Abstergo, by the Templars, who use his brain to get Assassin's Creed 4. Kind of make the Devils of the Caribbean, make that a game. So they use us to try and find out about the observatory, I guess. I guess that's the actual point of us doing it, is to find part of the observatory as much as anything else. And... so I think there's that aspect as well as they make games sell money. We're doing some research. Oh, and we can make some money out of the research as well to find things. So they're after... maybe they're not after the observatory. But it links into John / Bartholomew Roberts / the Sage. Oh, yes, of course. So the security wouldn't have realised who he was. That's why he had the gun. So that the Templars wouldn't get him. Alright, figuring it out. Juno is around, but she's not solid enough to take physical form or to possess someone, which is what he was hoping would happen. She lives in the servers at Abstergo. For some reason. And worldwide. I assume it's meant to be worldwide. Just randomly tutting. Right, and Sean and Rebecca, like the assassins don't really take part in the real world that much, or not as much as in other games. They're getting information from Abstergo with John, who assumably is using them as an excuse for us to go around digging, and then he forces us to go and be possessed by Juno, but that doesn't work, so he injects us with something. I wonder what we were injected with. I mean, that's not really come out. So, yeah, there's a few different things we can do. So there's a few different things from that. It's like, we're following Juno then as the main plot of the real world stuff. I mean, that's the logical thing. She's the key, the new key thing after the disaster. She's the key thing going on in this. I would have considered. I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Maybe finding the Sage again. Working out what Juno's up to. Because he's saying that she's going to come back at some point. And he said he was going to miss it, so I don't know like how his regeneration occurs. Maybe he's born in a new body and something. Yeah. I'm wondering what I'm going. No, right. I wonder which game I will do out of Rogue and Unity first. I think most people have said Rogue at the moment. What I'm going to do though is I might do a bit more running around looking for things in the other rooms and do some more hacking, or I might just leave it. That's quite possible. They're only collectibles. I don't think it's so important. But what I will do is I will do the Freedom Cry DLC, is what I'll be doing after this. So if you have a particular view on Rogue versus Unity, say in the comments. People have said Rogue because Rogue has more hats. That's always a good sign. People have legitimately said there are more hats in Rogue and there are better hats in Rogue, so... but people have also said that Unity, they change some of the controls. So, and Rogue is very much built on this system, this movement, these controls. So, there's that aspect of, do you jump to Unity, which has a completely different setup, or do you leave it in Rogue? Do you do Unity, which is a different system, and then Rogue, which is back with this one, or do you do Rogue, which is this one, and Unity, which is the change? And I think some people have said that Rogue is kind of a between. Rogue is between this and 3 chronologically, whereas Unity's it's kind of its own thing in the real world stuff. So I might go down. That's another reason for Rogue in my view. But some people might have their own thing. I don't know. If you've got a particular thought on it, please say. And I'm kind of running out of things to say. Like, so, yeah, talking about the next game, music, characters, story, and we're at the legal stuff, which is normally a sign that we're under the credits. So all I need to do is just keep talking, and then I can say I've succeeded. No real pirates were harmed. Is that in the legal stuff? Like, if you pirate our game, it's like...